kingdom. Had to buy some harmony. Now I'm flexing with my jewels. You could tell I got a lot on me. Grab another hero, feeling like I hit the lottery. Farming, getting API, stacking profits to the sky. 1x, 2x, 10x.
Oh, we're live. Sorry, I was so into that. I just lost myself in the music. Welcome everybody to this wonderful Saturday. We've got Samichpunch, we've got Babypunch, we've got Ogre Abroad, aka Gandalf, pipe included. Welcome, Ogre Abroad. Are you guys hearing yourself?
Yeah, I got you. I think we might just have a little bit of delay.
Okay. So, well, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. Ogre, can you hear us okay?
I'm seeing him frozen on my end.
What's up?
We might have some. Oh, there you go. We hear you.
Ogre, can you hear us?
Let me see if maybe if we. Yeah, I can't.
I also have the gift of hearing myself twice, so.
I can't like force close this video. I wonder if Ogre, maybe if you just connect audio. Oh yeah.
Okay, but are you guys hearing him me twice through his audio?
No, I'm not. No. All right.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, well, that was exciting. So hopefully Ogre will reappear as as Gandalf does sometimes. And in the meantime, we just wanted to kick off the convo today talking about what's been on everyone's mind, Perilous Journey. So we've all been speculating, talking, discussing on our end. So we'll be interested to hear some of the panel's thoughts on how to decide what to send, what not to send. Is it a scam? Is it genius? Is it a little bit of both? I don't know. Samichpunch, can you help me understand?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's genius that, and I know that there's the people who have a lot of differing thoughts on it. There's even on Reddit just the past couple days, I was going back and forth with some people who are like, this is a whales game. This is, and specifically this quest like only benefits whales. And, I have thoughts on that, but I think it's a great idea. Like the hero population, I track Mr. Zipper tracks this every week. I look at it every 2 weeks with my whale watch reports. And I mean, it's gone up a lot. And there's a big skyrocket in the hero population due to the snapshots that were going on during like January to mid-February. And we're at like pushing close to 140,000 heroes now. So I think this will be helpful to help control the population a bit. And it also has some really cool rewards that I think will be necessary, and we can get into this in more detail later, for like combat min-maxing later with the attunement crystals and enhancement stones and the +5 stats you get. So I'm super excited about it.
I definitely think it gears towards combat. So especially
but does it gear towards whales?
I think in some aspect it does. In some aspect it does, in some aspect it doesn't, because the heroes that are most going to benefit from sending it across the Perilous Journey are those that can benefit from +15 stats and all the enhancement and the attunement crystals. So those are going to be the really strong heroes that can dominate land tournaments, that can scale PvP, PvE. So they're going to really benefit. But in the same token, all the little guys that have been questing their heroes and have got a small amount of heroes, their heroes are going to go up in value now because there's going to be significantly less heroes on the market.
Let me tell you why I think you're wrong. Okay.
All right.
First of all, Frisky Fox should change his profile picture to Shamu because he is a whales only guy. Okay. He is a whales only mechanic creator. He loves the whales. He wants to incentivize the whales. I get where he's coming from. He's totally wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong, though, Baby Punch. That is, if I'm the guy who just got in the game, I'm living in Bangladesh. I just bought a common wizard, and that's all I've got the budget for. And then I'm being told if you send my common wizard, he's probably going to die. He has a greater chance to die in the living. And then if I don't send him, every single other common wizard that comes back or any other hero is way more valuable now and stronger now than my common wizard. So I just don't see, like, I don't want to send it because I'm this new person. So it goes back to this idea that we have to incentivize people to join. And if you don't have big bags, you probably don't want to send your little boys with low chance of survival. But if you don't send them, your value of those little boys is marginalized because the guys coming back, even common wizards coming back, are bigger now. They're better. They have better stats. They have better rewards. Now, so to me, the floor doesn't come up for unsurvivors. The floor comes up obviously for survivors. Those become valuable. I just don't see the floor coming up for normal heroes.
Real quick, Ogre, can you hear us now?
I've been able to hear you the whole time. Are you guys able to hear me
Yeah,
now?
all right, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
We gotcha.
Oh,
What's up, Ogre?
awesome. Sorry about the troubles, guys.
No,
Low
you're good,
bandwidth
man.
issues.
Should we put a pin in this one, Bloater, and come back? And
Let's put a
go to-
pin. We're going to put a pin, and we're going to come back to Frisky Shamu. Ogre, I would
Frisky
love to hear
Shamu.
more about what is a validator. I know you're a Harmony validator. What is a validator? What do you do? What's your, like, I would love to learn more about you. What does validating mean? How did you get into it? How did you get into the crypto space? Any of that stuff.
Okay. So we start back in 26 or 17, November 6th. I was sitting in a tent, had some money, trying to figure out how to invest it, and I bought my first Litecoin. That was my very first crypto purchase. I then watched it moon from the $56 I got it at up to well over $300. Got home and got a very nice tax return, and I pushed it all into cryptocurrency in Q1 of 2018 as I watched Litecoin come down from $320 to $20. And at that point, I was locked in. So I started looking for blockchain games. Got tired of Ethereum's slow network in the summer of 18. Just pissed me off because I couldn't play my games. So I jumped over to Tron because at the time the network was strong. And I hadn't realized who Justin Sun was yet. So eventually I got tired of him. A buddy of mine was shilling Harmony, and I jumped on board. They taught me how to run a validator back in like February, March of 2020. And I've been helping secure the network ever since.
Pretend, I obviously know this really well. Not pretend you're talking to someone who has no idea what a validator is, what it does, what are the incentives, how much do you have to have. Like, just pretend like I'm a validator idiot.
Let's call it the Michael Scott explanation. Give us the Michael Scott one.
Pretend I'm Michael Scott.
All right, so let's start with what is a validator, right? So we have this awesome blockchain we love playing on, doing all this awesome stuff. And in order for it to be, number one, functioning, all of the validators out there in the world work together to agree upon which transactions happen next and order all of the transactions in the blockchain as the chain itself grows. They also keep an identical copy of the blockchain. That way we have censorship resistance and really proof. So that, like, say China says, you know what, we don't like Harmony. We found these 5 nodes and we're shutting them down. Well, the blockchain is going to live on. If that's your validator that you're shut down, but you have your private keys still and can access your wallet for your validator, you could bring it back up 3 years later like nothing ever happened. And during that time, granted, people in China, if they put it all behind the Great Firewall of China, they might not be able to use Harmony, but they can't stop the rest of the world from doing it. And as soon as there's a chink in their armor, we'll be able to, the people in China would be able to get right back onto the network like nothing ever happened.
Okay, can someone pretend like they're a mother chick and they're gonna eat my food and then spit it into my mouth in a more simplified, easy to digest? I just don't know what a validator is still, and I know you're doing a good job explaining it. I just am a little slow.
Well, no, it's all good. So let's look at it this way. If you want to have a community of people, you need a community of people, right?
Okay.
That's a simple yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I gave you the thumbs
I
up,
mean,
but I forgot you can't see the video.
oh,
Yes.
my bad. The screen's very small. So, I mean, it's basically each validator is helping to run the network. In a proof of work network, they're all running an algorithm trying to solve that math problem before any other proof of work validator does. And the first one to solve the algorithm gets to write that block and gets paid, right? They each keep a copy of the network, so they run the network. So that way the rest of us can use the network. That's what a validator does. In proof of stake, it's kind of the same thing, right? The validator core is running the network. If the validators all just disappeared, Harmony 1 disappears. So
Mm.
the validators are required to run the network. It's kind of like
So the validators are providing the processing power to get through those transactions. Is that right?
both the process. So they provide both data availability as well as an execution layer. What you're referring to is the execution layer, that virtual computer out there in the cloud that can actually run software.
Got it.
Yes, the validators provide that. And then they also provide data availability, i.e., the past history of the chain, what has happened, what your balance is, all of that fun jazz.
Okay. Awesome. That makes sense. So, what was your entrance into DFK? So we got your validator background. What was your entrance into DFK?
So I owe my entrance into DFK to a wonderful Daniel Pagan on the Harmony team. This is before he was on the Harmony team. And my lovely friend put out a tweet about DeFi Kingdoms, and it was merely hours after they launched their decks.
Mm.
I immediately started researching them, got kind of excited, jumped on board, and started telling all my friends. And the rest is kind of history. I think I'm one of the first ones to really find the liquidity pools and jump into them. Obviously, others had found them. Daniel told me about it, but he didn't get into the pool. So I think I'm probably one of the first ones to jump into the pool. And yeah, the rest is history, man.
Were you thinking rug pull, like I'm going to throw money in, but it might burn? Or were you like, nope, this project's got legs. These people are legit. I'm not worried.
The only red flag I had when I did my initial research was the fact they were anonymous. Everything else they had gave me the warm and fuzzy thinking that this could be a moonshot. But it's not the first project that's given me that feeling, and they have not been moonshots, right? So just because it gave
Hey,
me
let
that
me ask
feeling
you,
doesn't
Ogre.
mean.
Does it still concern you that they're still semi-anonymous? I mean, we know some of the core team, but does it concern you at all that some of them are still anonymous?
Not at all, because they're not anonymous to me. I just met them all.
There you go.
Wait, did you meet Frisky Fox?
I did meet Frisky Fox. He even pulled a little mask down.
Oh,
Wow.
So
Look at you.
the team has been fully doxed to me. I've seen them all. I mean, I didn't
there we
like
go.
ask for their driver's license and like write down where they live and all that names, but they facially doxed themselves to me. We hung out. Yeah.
I have one quick question too for you. So you are, correct me if I'm wrong, a member of the multi-sig wallet, correct? And like, how
I
did
am.
that come about? And like, have you had to ever had to execute anything on that?
No, I have not. Basically, it was just a feel good measure early on. I don't know if you guys remember the Superbid merger thing. I kind
Yep,
of
I recall
orchestrated that behind the scenes, and by kind of I mean like 100%. I was part of both communities. I coordinated between both teams to kind of have a little merger there, as well as coordinating with Harmony to have them support it. Had like a whole month-long plan drawn out where each team was going to tweet once a week for marketing purposes, so we get the maximum impact out of it. Then Harmony at the last minute kind of got cold feet I forget what was happening at the time, but something had happened with another community project that Harmony had kind of thrown some support at, and so they were worried about the optics and how it was going to look back on them
It was
when
like
that
Radiant,
project that
wasn't
they
it? Like
quasi
Radiant Isles.
endorsed. It may have been. I don't remember, honestly. I'm not
Okay,
sure. I
no
just
worries.
remember there was a little bit of a snafu, and the team got a little bit of mud in their eye. So it kind of caused them to rethink it and relook at how they support community projects. So at the very last minute, the team pulled their support, i.e., they weren't going to do any of the tweets and all that stuff, which, given these circumstances, was disappointing but understandable. And then the multi-sig wallet was kind of just an attempt to appease them and bring them back to the table before we realized the full big picture.
I want to go back to something you just said. Sounded like kind of like a Tinder comment. Are you into facial doxing? Not until the third date. But do you still think it's an issue that? Do you still think it's an issue that they're doxed to you, which is awesome because you're a community figure as well. That they're not doxing. Do you still think that's an issue? Is that a red flag for us or no?
I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I would say no, because it's not an issue for me anymore. Not that it really was initially, because I saw all of the other check marks that I needed to see, like the size and organization of the team, the organization of the way they're going about building it, the constant contact, what was regular ships, and they still do ship regularly. They're just having a little fun with mining and gardening, right? But I mean, all in all, they've done everything I would expect a winning project to do. So why do I care if they're doxxed? I mean, it's not like we're ever going to, most of us will never go hang out with them. You know what I mean? So why does it matter if we know who they are or don't? Do you know who made all the video games you play on your computer? Do you chat with them?
No idea.
I don't have all my money invested in them, so I'm less concerned with the doxing of the video
Very
game
fair
developers.
point.
But okay, that's fair. Panel, any other questions for Ogre on his background or anything like that, or do you want to move to? Do you guys want to move to Perilous?
Let's go, Shamu.
Yeah, let's get. I
Let's hit
want to
this
see how many
story.
heroes do you have, Ogre? What's your stake in this game, hero wise?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess around 250.
And someone in chat just said, "I heard Ogre is sending all his heroes." Is that true?
Every single one.
Wait,
Full
wait, now,
send.
do you have mythics? Do you have advanced? Do you have elites?
Yep.
Do you have exalted? Like,
Yep.
are you?
I have everything except for the Dread Knight or Dark Knight, whatever.
Yeah.
Good
So
name.
you're
Yes.
not worried about losing copious amounts of monies in that.
I mean, I've made copious amounts of money from this game. At this point, I'm more concerned about the ecosystem and the community, right? And before anybody goes, oh, yeah, whatever, he's full of shit, bro, he's a whale, all he cares is about himself. Think about it this way. You want to say that I'm being completely selfish? I have a massive stake in this game. That means I have a massive stake in making sure this game does well, which means if I give stuff away to people and grow the ecosystem, make people happy, make them tell their friends and start giving stuff to their friends, we all win. That's my game.
Wag me.
I want
Okay,
everybody to win.
but here's my question for you, Ogre.
No fun.
If
What?
the question we need to answer as a community, as a game, for it to really succeed is adoption and getting more people with maybe smaller wallets involved. And we've always talked about, okay, it's expensive to get in. Heroes are expensive. Obviously, with jewel tanking recently with the market, it's more accessible, but it's still pretty expensive. So if you're the guy who's got one or two heroes, which I think the majority of our listeners probably are, the majority of the DeFi population probably is in that boat, and you send two heroes and they both die, what do you think? How do you feel about that?
I think that would suck. They should probably send me a transaction and prove it. Maybe someone would magically drop them at Gen 0 or Gen 1 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that would suck. If you sent all your heroes and you only had a few and you're trying to make, and all of a sudden you're back at Crown Zero trying to scrape up enough money to get another hero again because you only got like 10 jewel for the two heroes you lost combined. Yeah, that would definitely suck.
I'm thinking about Drupesh in
However-
Bangladesh, my boy. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, Ogre.
I mean, for an economy to work, somebody has to lose, right? If somebody wins in an economy, somebody loses. Economies are closed systems to a degree.
But I thought we were all gonna win.
I mean,
Just kidding.
we all will eventually over the long run if we keep plugging. But in reality, life doesn't work that way. We aren't all going to win. We all want to win. We're all going to try really hard. And I hope as many people as possible win. But simple
So
reality
let me
is
put it
it's a
this way. I
prospect
don't
to
think
fall
anyone
with.
on this call has 250 heroes. So I'd be interested. Samichpunch and Babypunch. And me personally, I've got a rare Dragoon. I've got a rare Sage. I am not sending them like 100%. If I woke up and they died, I'm on Sui Watch. So I don't want to be on Sui Watch. So Samichpunch, Babypunch, what are you guys doing? You know, because again, if you send the baddies, their win percent's low. But if you send the goodies and they die, as formerly discussed, Sui Watch. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'll go real quick. So, and I kind of want to go back to that pinned conversation we had that Ogre had mentioned about sending heroes is really kind of geared, I think, towards min-maxing towards combat. So, for example, you have a common wizard that is going to be in the mines or at the pool for the rest of its life. Do you really care about getting an additional 15 stats on that hero and another full XP bar? I just don't think so. So
Right.
in my perspective, for the little guys, it would be hold on to my heroes, and if I can replenish the wells that are trying to min-max towards a really strong combat geared hero that need to now go out to the tavern and repopulate their hero pool, that's an option for you. There can be financial incentive there.
But let me catch something you said, which is I think the implication, which could be true, but I don't know if this is true yet. It's like we're all running at the cliff and we're like, yeah, we're gonna jump, this is gonna be awesome. And then how many people actually jump off? They're like, ah. And so if 40% of heroes get burned, you're right. There will be a hero shortage. AVAX, people coming in, not enough heroes. People want heroes. If 2% of the population burn, 2% of the people get screwed. Essentially, the supply of heroes doesn't get affected that much, and I don't know.
Yeah, but is that gonna change your perspective on whether you send or not?
I don't want to send to anyone.
I don't think that's gonna.
By the way, I have an emotional
determine whether
connection
you
to my
send or
heroes.
not.
Do you know how many times I've sent my boys to the fishing? They've done me good. I've got guys with 16, 17, 18 fishing skill. I'm not burning that dude.
So
That guy's my guy.
here's my thoughts on it. I'm sitting on like 95 heroes right now.
Casual.
I will probably send 30 of them. And
But
one
which
of them
ones?
will be my highest, which is an uncommon Dragoon, because I mean, if this guy comes back with plus 15 stats, and then all the other guys that I burned is going to give me a bunch of attunement crystals, and I'm going to be pumping those attunement crystals into him every single time he levels up. This guy's going to be, he's going to be a beast. I also, I've been talking about this with Babypunch, I'm low key, and by low key I mean high key, considering sending mythic Dark Knight that I have. Because the same thing. It's like there's so many. This is a huge degenerate play. It's a super gambling play, because what happens when everyone, a lot of the survivors are a bunch of common heroes, and then we go to the land competitions where it's only the survivors get to compete in these specific lands in Crystalvale, and you've got the mythic Dark Knight who won and was a survivor, has an extra 15 stats, and the rest of the players are just a bunch of an army of or the few survivors of an army of commons that got sent and survived.
But then that to
right
me
there,
really is
honestly.
the whale game, because the whale's gonna have 10 mythic Dark Knights, 6 are gonna die, 4 are gonna do really well. So if I'm the little guy and I'm like, but I want to compete in the land, I still can't compete because guys like you are sending mythic Dark Knights.
Yeah, land in that sense, land would cater to wells. Yeah. I don't think that Perilous Journey caters to whales. Everyone has access to the exact same risk, and saying that, well, it only benefits whales because they're going to be the only ones that are going to take the risk to send more. Yeah, that's true of any economic decision in life. Like, do I wish I'd YOLO'd thousands of dollars on GME calls? Yeah, I wish I had, but I didn't have the money. Like, I didn't feel like I had enough money to make that risk when like GME and AMC were pumping. But like, so like that line of argument doesn't
And
jive with me.
so,
But I mean,
can
yeah,
I
I
make
can
a
see.
statement
Oh, go
here?
ahead.
Ogre.
So, I mean, 4 years ago, I had almost nothing. I spent the time in the space. I've searched around. I've built what I had, and anybody can do that, right? So there were times where I was in games looking at other people going, damn, I wish I had that, because I'd be killing it right now. And I had my 1 or 2 little NFTs that I was trying to farm away with and build something. And I built my stack a little bit bigger, and then I took it to another game and I made it even bigger. And I kept flipping it as time went on. And now I got lucky with DeFi Kingdoms. I found that magical project on day one. So, I mean, and as far as the Perilous journey goes, I mean, yeah, to a degree, short term, the whales will benefit monstrously, but so might those who don't send their heroes if they only have 1 or 2. I mean, if they're prepared to sell them immediately when the price pumps, because we've lost 30 or 40% of all the heroes, and Avalanche is coming, like you guys mentioned, those who only have 1 or 2 heroes might be able to flip them and change their stars right then and there. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that the biggest problem people have is their perspective, and that's what holds them back more than anything else. This lost the LP. The Perilous journey. It comes down to a risk-reward decision by you as an individual, and I agree with you 100%. To a degree, to send everybody is 100% degen play. It's like freaking doubling down on blackjack without even looking at your cards. Right? You're just rolling the dice saying, this might be my hit right here. Whether I'm going bust or balls out, I'm doing something, right? Or you want to be more conservative and say, you know what? I really like this game. I don't want to struggle through and have to buy another hero from scratch. So I'm not going to send my hero. And maybe I've got 2 and they'll double in value. So I'll sell 1, wait 2 months, and then buy 3 more back. You never know, right? Each individual has their own strategy, their own way of playing the game. And I mean, we got to respect that.
I have a question for you real quick, Ogre. So of your
What's up?
250 heroes, are you manually questing with them, or what is your current setup with your heroes? And then I have a follow-up to that.
Yes, I am that chaotic good asshole who is manually trying to quest all my heroes and not doing it on days when I like have East Denver because I simply don't have time. So I try to load up my miners so they'll keep working until I can get back to it. And other than that, I just ignore it because I don't
So
have time.
you know the grind
my
of
heroes
questing.
are falling woefully behind.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so you know the grind. It
It's
takes forever. If you lose a bunch of heroes,
4 to 6 hours of my day.
Exactly. It's time consuming. If you lose a bunch of your heroes, are you going to the tavern looking for new, say, Gen 1 or level 1 with 0 profession skills? Or are you looking for the level 5, the level 6, the level 4, so you don't have to go through that grind again? What is your strategy if you're going to go to repopulate?
So again, as you mentioned earlier, my situation is different than most. So as much as I would love to give some alpha and help people decide how to play the game, I've got 26 Gen Zeros. So I'll just make
Just
more.
20.
I'm not going to
You're
buy
saying
heroes.
But I see what Babypunch is saying. He's saying, are whales like you going to repopulate, which will then pump the price of the floor hero, which will then benefit the little guys? Like, give me, like at the bottom.
I'll say this.
Right. I'm not planning on buying any heroes. No. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll murder some of mine to reduce the supply, but I'm not going to turn around and go buy them also. That would be kind of stupid in my mind for me to go buy heroes when I could just turn around and make the heroes and I got a chance of popping out a mythic or something like that.
So I have a few real quick Bloaterpunch. I have 3 Gen 0, so I cannot like fill up I couldn't, if I had lost 60% of my heroes, I could not refill them very quickly. It would take me a long time. And it would be really painful to lose like all my fishers and foragers that are like profession skill 15. And I am not grinding up to 15 again. So like if I'm going to buy and refill, like say I like lose most of my fishers, I'm gonna be looking at like fishers that are at least 12 profession skill, especially when they're going to have the next level profession skills coming out. We don't know when, but they've said that they were close, and then they decided to do crafting items, so that kind of delayed it a bit. But like, it'll feel. The only reason I would go back and buy a level 1 with like no profession skills is if it was like summoning fodder with like a 10 out of 10, and I was just trying to do like a summon chain with it.
Well, we use an important word there, right? And the word is I. That's your personal risk assessment given your situation in the game. And everybody's is unique. I mean, yeah, for a lot of people who are trying to stack something and create something small and take something small and turn into something big, the answer might be don't send them. Or maybe just send one if you have 3 or 4, just to try and see if you can get that bonus. But in reality, I mean, so I would love the world to be perfect, everything to be equal, and everything to be even. The problem is the closest we can come to that is called communism, and there's still 2 tiers, right? There's everybody who's even in poverty, and then there's that one class that has everything else. So I don't think, as much as I would love for cryptocurrency to make everybody even, everything even, what I think it's going to do is give everybody the opportunity to change their stars. Everybody won't. Even some who struggle and try their best won't. Such is the human condition. But what we can do is make great friends and band together and look out for each other and try and help each other. So even though everybody is not going to succeed, we as a community can work together to try to advance each other and make this game stronger, so that all of us that are here over time, right? Isn't it an overnight flip? We're not going to get rich by tomorrow, but over the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, I would be very surprised that anybody who really committed themselves to playing this game and held and didn't sell and try and play the market or something like that, people that actually got into the game and worked it for a year, 2 years, I would be very surprised if those individuals were not winning at the end of those 2 years.
Well, I do want to hit a couple things. One, to address your 26 Gen Zeros, and by the way, this comment has nothing to do with your 26 Gen Zeros or 250 heroes, but if you're looking to adopt a son, I am interested. Again, totally agnostic of the Gen Zeros. Okay, but serious comment, and that is, it seems like sending the Perilous journey doesn't make financial sense. Okay, it isn't, and so like we say, what's your ROI on mining? What's your ROI on fishing? What, questing? What's your ROI maybe on holding heroes? Whatever. What's your ROI on buying a locked balance, etc. But for sending the heroes, to me, it actually makes no financial sense. This goes back to what Samichpunch said. It's just a gamble. You're like, hey, I'm a gambler. I think I could benefit from this. So if you're a gambler and you think the dice will favor you, you should go on the Perilous journey. You're going to benefit. But if you're like, hey, I'm looking to like maximize my gains, then the Perilous journey to me makes 0 sense. Like, continue farming, continue mining, continue gardening, and don't burn heroes and then be bummed that your like net worth decreases. That's just my 2 cents.
So what happens if a month from now we find out that there's questing for land, and the only heroes that can go are the ones who went on the Perilous journey? Are you going to be mad then because you played it risk safe now to make sure you didn't lose your hero, which then made the decision so that you couldn't partake in the land raffle later, or the land quest? I mean, because
I'll tell
that's
you
part
exactly
of it, right?
what
It's all
Bloaterpunch would say.
speculation. It is speculation.
First of
I
all,
know that I would love to
this-
have all the answers before I speculate and invest, which makes it hard.
Frisky
But
Shamu
don't always have
loves
that, so go ahead.
making announcements of announcements. So if he said, here's all the information, this is what all the quests will look like, here's what all the benefits of the Perilous journey will be. They've done some of that, but there's a lot of like, ooh, there will be something, it's like the amulet. Hey, if you put stuff in the X jewel in the bank, you'll get this amulet. What does the amulet do? We have no idea, but we need people to put X jewel in the bank. So we're going to say, put X jewel in the bank, we'll give you this mythical amulet. So I'm just like, yes, there could be really cool benefits, but that doesn't make financial sense to me. And like you said, Ogre, everyone's different. Everyone's got a different perspectives. But to me, it's like, unless we have perfect information, why are we going to risk more for total speculative purposes that may not even pan out? I don't know.
Yeah,
Why are you in
I mean, those are
cryptocurrency?
fair points. Those are fair points. But I tell me if you see this happening, Bloaterpunch. So let's say in 6 weeks, the survivors have been selected. You know, we know who the Perilous Journey survivors are, and like then there's some big boon to Perilous. Like you know, they hinted to they'll be able to go on these quest lines that others won't, and it ends up being like a quest line that can give you like some sweet reward. Are you salty? I'm gonna anticipate what your response is, and I'm gonna
let me
guess you're
answer
gonna
your
say,
question with another question. What if the survive rate was 20%? And I've got these people in chat saying, "Oh, we're degens. This is crypto. Okay, survive rate's 10%. Hey, we're degens. Survive rate's 5%. We're degens, bro. You got a degen." So it's like, to me, like again, it just doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that there isn't gain. Some small portion of the population is going to gain, but at the rates I've seen, and again, I'm like a little bro. I've got a lot of commons. Like they're all gonna die, and then I'm gonna be like, why did I do this? And I'm gonna hate myself.
yeah, no, I get that, and I don't disagree with that. And that's what I think is like, I feel like they've made it at least well enough that it's going to make sense for some people. Like some people are super excited about it, and like some people like you, it's like no way I'm doing this. Like I'm gonna stay back in the gardens. I'm gonna keep just like questing, gardening, doing what I do. But then there's some people like me. I'm like I want to make like the most bad A mythic Dark Knight whose stats are going to be crazy. And guess what? I'm probably going to lose a bunch, and I'm not going to end up like jewel for jewel better off. But like maybe I'll win like some dope tournament later, and like I'm taking that risk, and like I feel like me taking that risk isn't hurting other people. So I don't know.
Again, I want everyone to do a simulation. I want everyone to close their eyes. And I want you to think about sending a mythic sage, which is like the top tier of combat, right? It's very close. And I want you to imagine putting him on the Perilous Journey, and then you're lighting 15 to 20K on fire if he doesn't come back. Do you feel good about that? I'm like weeping.
Yeah. But like, what are
like,
the odds? What are the odds? The odds are actually pretty good. And what do you win? You're let's say he survives. Gen 0 raffle, a bunch of Gen 0 raffles. He gets to participate in LAN tournament, which by the way, he's gonna dunk on everybody else because his stats are gonna be crazy. He's gonna have a new quest lines that others can't do. Oh, plus 15 stats. Oh, he gets another level up, by the way. And what else am I missing here?
Yeah, a bunch of
A big
monetary
fat pile of crystal.
okay, but time out.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying. Here's another problem. We have no idea what combat looks like. We don't know what the incentives are. So you're like, hey, you're going to be so good at combat. What does that even mean?
That's fair. But I mean, the reality is we have to be making decisions. When you go and level up, you have to be making decisions. So like, we don't know all the details, but we do know some, and I feel like we know enough to at least be making informed decisions. We know that stats will be very important to combat. We know that skills will be very important to combat.
Okay, I know we've had a good back and forth here. I want to give Ogre the last word on this convo, and then if you guys are okay with it, let's go to the giveaway and the summoning.
Let's do it.
So, listening to you guys talk, I'm reminded of myself years ago. And the biggest thing,
So I am
the
your
biggest
son.
thing that I could say, well, I am a bit of a boomer, but I mean, I had to change my mindset. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was probably one of the best books I've ever read because it really changed the way I was thinking. In order to win, you've got to take big risks. If you want to win big, you've got to risk big. You're not going to win big taking small risks, ever. Not going to happen. So the difference between winners and losers is that winners keep getting up. They get beat down, they make mistakes, they have huge losses. They learn from that, they get up and they go again and again and again until they win. And then they keep winning. So I guess that would be my final parting word is change your perspective. Not just you guys, but to the whole community. Everybody who's looking at somebody else and saying, oh, I'm scared to do that, it could ruin everything. You will never get rich. You won't, because you have to risk everything to get everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've got to take some risk. And honestly,
So just YOLO.
No, not YOLO, but to me, The biggest risk is just not being into crypto right now, because we say there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, but honestly, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So I mean, if crypto is what is ahead of us and it's going to be what the economy kind of gears towards, then the biggest risk is just not being in the crypto space. And if you are, then whether this isn't your lotto ticket, you know, you're going to be a winner in the end.
And on that note, I'd like to announce my crypto coin Doge bloater butt, and we're going to the moon. So sell your heroes and get in on my coin. All right, Samichpunch, do you want to explain the giveaway and all the mechanics around the giveaway and who's eligible?
Yeah, so the King Somo giveaway has ended. The 2 winners have been selected. The first winner on the list is going to be the recipient of Ogre's 2 Gen 0 heroes, which we're about to summon with here shortly. Let me actually just pull this up. Look at this guy.
So to clarify there, the winner is not. So to clarify, the winner is not getting those heroes. They're getting what is
Right.
from those
They
You
heroes.
will
get to
be
pick
receiving-
which Gen 0 you want. You pick.
They will be receiving the
Wait
summon.
a minute, I don't think I agreed to this.
They will be receiving the Gen 1 summon from these 2, which I'm about to summon with here in just a minute. The second person will receive, and I mean, it kind of feels like
It's a consolation
You know-
prize, but it's a solid consolation prize.
it's a let's see, let me see if I can pull it up here. It is a Gen 2 pirate fisher, and what we'll be doing is I'm gonna just note the part of the name of the email here for you guys on the stream, but Babypunch will be reaching out via email to contact the 2 winners. So the first winner is Kayunum16, and the second winner is, this has got to be Spanish, RJ Reyes. So congrats, you guys.
Congratulations.
So Kayunum16, you are going to be getting the summon of these 2 heroes. So let's get into it. So we got here an archer, wizard, gardener.
Let me just hop in. I'm seeing some people saying in chat, how did I get in the giveaway? You need to be following Samichpunch and Babypunch and myself on Twitter. We send out a notification, hey, there's a King Somo giveaway. You need to get in on this. You can enter, and then that's how these people are winning this, is they're following Samichpunch's Twitter and then getting that information.
Yeah, we posted about this yesterday, so there was a little over 24 hours to get in on this, I think. So yeah, follow myself, follow Ogre, and oh, actually Ogre had to hop off. He just messaged me.
Ooh.
His phone was overheating, so
Oh, jeez.
shoot. So
Although-
he said he wants to congratulate the winners. This is also super generous of him, so let's get into it.
How many people participated, Samich? Do you see?
Yes, there were 600 participants.
600 participants. And then the other thing that I think we should enforce going forward, I don't know if this is possible with King Sumo, but people should have to be on stream to like, is there a way we could go to the next winner if they're not here?
Here's my issue with that, because now we're interfering with people's lives. I mean, if someone's got to choose between watching our stream and, you know, going to their kid's basketball game, I don't want to like put people in that position.
But people who are here are the ones, you know, contributing to our success, to the stream success. Shouldn't they be the ones rewarded? Not just
I
some-
mean,
Let's take this offline. Let's take this offline.
Yeah, we'll
Let's take this
discuss.
offline.
We'll
and
All
figure
right.
it out. All right, here we go.
See this Dark Knight.
Kyle Lee, watching stream in office meeting. Let's go,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry that you have an office meeting on Saturday, but let's go.
There it is.
Oh, let's go! Dark Knight.
All right.
All
We
right.
got
Okay.
Dark
Okay.
Knight Rare. Let's go.
huge.
All right. Get that guy dead on the Perilous journey. Send him. Send him.
Let's go. Gen 1 Dark Knight Summoner. Man, that's big. Congrats,
That's a big
man.
win.
All right,
Well,
all right.
what's the
So
profession?
people are. should we do just a little something for the live streamers? Do our typical trivia.
Let's see, you
I'll
got a
cover it.
question?
I'll cover it. Let's
Something.
Gotta think of a question here.
I've got some triv. I've got some LOTR triv. If you want me to pull it out, we don't have
Ah,
to.
dude, I'm just like not a LOTR fan, but hey, Ogre, are you here?
Yeah, I managed to pop back in.
All right,
My
Nice.
phone was overheating.
look at this, man. We summoned.
He can't see, I don't think.
Oh yeah,
I can kind of see it's really small.
your 2 heroes kicked out a rare Dark Knight summoner. So
Oh, that is
What was the
epic.
profession?
Huge.
what was that?
What was the profession?
It is a gardener. Which, by the way, I have 2 Dark Knight gardeners, and they're like cashing in.
Yeah.
They have great
Yeah, they're pretty
vitality,
beast.
Vitality,
great
and
vitality and
dex.
wisdom. Their
Hey, why don't you
wisdom's-
do Brandon Sando triv? Aren't you a big Brandon?
Yeah, all right.
Sando?
Brandon Sando.
Okay, wait. Let's stipulate. While you're thinking, I'm gonna give you some time to think for a second. If you want to participate in this Brandon Sanderson trivia portion, Samichpunch is gonna ask the question. He's gonna clarify what the reward is. But to qualify to be the first, you have to include your Discord hashtag, whatever, your Discord ID, so we know it's you, and the answer. Samichpunch will also clarify does spelling matter.
I'll be a little lenient on this one.
Okay, spelling will be a little lenient. And what are we gonna do? Prize. What are you
So
signing us up
prize, I will. Let's do.
for? We could do 5,000 of the bloater doge butt coin.
Let's just do a 20 jewel. 20 jewel.
20J. Okay, here we
And
go.
as a stipulation, or not a stipulation, but a small caveat here, the text in our chat come across a little bit different on our side than they do the viewer side. So we will choose the winner as it comes across for us as the first person. Some people it'll come show that they were the first comment, but we've just got to go off how it displays on our side. So just keep that in mind.
All right. The question here is,
First responder wins.
in Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive series, there are the orders of the Knights Radiant. The main character Kaladin belongs to which order of the Knights Radiant? So in the Stormlight Archives, there is this order of knights called the Order of the Knights Radiant, and there are different orders. Kaladin belongs to which order?
Ogre, are you a Brandon Sanderson fan?
I'm gonna go with 3.
Windrunners, is that right?
He's a
Oh,
Windrunner.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's just my stance.
Whoa!
I see
there he
Defiant
is.
Vixen. Do you guys see that? Defiant
Yep,
Vixen.
That's what I got.
Yeah, Defiant Vixen pops up first on mine. So,
Well done.
Babypunch, do
sir.
you want to write? Do you
Got
want
it.
to get his Discord down?
Yep.
All right. Congrats, Defiant Vixen.
Nice.
Congrats to huge congrats to Kayunum, who is the winner of the Dark Knight. Huge congrats to me for not giving back Ogre's 2 Gen Zeros.
Whoa, wait,
I
what?
will be disappearing off the planet. I will be disappearing off the planet now, and no, I'm just kidding. Ogre, seriously, thank you so much. That was super
Yeah.
generous of you to not only pay for the summoning costs, but to also
Oh.
lend your 2 heroes for this. So
And Ogre,
True
thanks for
winner.
putting up with our shenanigans.
Hey, real quick,
No,
Ogre,
my pleasure. Thanks for having me on, guys. It was a blast.
if
and,
people
I
want
enjoy
to,
Help and support the community.
if people want to participate in your validator, what is it called? Give us a little plug for that.
I run the Harmony Hub validator, and I was
Got a
fortunate
link here,
enough to get a real big Binance validation or delegation early on. So honestly,
Nice.
while I appreciate it, I'd rather you give it to some of the smaller validators who are struggling to get to that 4 or 5 million. I'm doing well.
That is a true winner
While I
right there.
appreciate it, I'd rather you give it to them.
Got it. Awesome.
Man, just generous.
that mentality, guys. By the way, I've been like, me and Ogre have DM'd since day one, and And like that has been his mentality about DeFi kingdoms and just in general. Like, what a stand-up guy. So
You the man, Ogre.
like, you the man.
Well, I mean, if we want to change the world, it has to start with us, right?
Exactly.
It is so true.
Be the
One
person you
blockchain
want to
at
know.
a time.
So I'm just trying to be the friend I want to have.
Okay. Well, if you need an extra friend, I'm one phone call away. Okay, Ogre.
You
One
guys are all
phone
my
call
friends.
and one wallet address away.
Well, now hold on. You just went from friend to gold digger. What's going on here?
Can't we be both?
I'm not
All
sure.
right,
I'll have to
Ogre.
look
All
that
right,
Hey,
up.
stream. Thank
thanks
you.
so much. Thanks,
Yep,
everybody.
appreciate
No
everyone
problem, guys.
tuning in.
Thanks.
See ya.